science, okay? Because we don't really take into consideration when people vote that there's people voting on things that aren't matters of opinion, okay? We've discovered that things aren't matters of opinion. Things like, there's somehow harm in stem cell research being funded. What the fuck is that? How do these people derive their opinion from? They derive it from a 2,000-year-old story, and we need to what? We need to pretend that somehow their opinions on that have equal weight, to the people who oppose them. I mean, come on, it's crap.
Some kind of test, provide an official line on each issue, just like a summary basically for people who aren't really up on the issues. Voter apathy is already a big enough problem without putting more stumbling blocks in the way of getting people to the ballot and getting involved in politics.
Yeah, apathy isn't the problem. Ignorance is the problem. I mean, it's funny, you got all these people who are just, it's the cliches nowadays, the ignorant masses, the sheeple, all that kind of stuff, the morons that surround them. And yet when the subject turns to democracy, they suddenly get bright-eyed, and there's all this idealism that somehow if you increase the voting turnout, the system is going to be more efficient. I mean, it's an inconsistency.
And I get your point where you've said in the past, maybe you don't want these people voting if they're not bothered enough to know about the issue. But that's not really their kind of fault. You could blame the media.
Oh, come on. I mean, what? Blame the media because they can't go find an independent source? I mean, it's just, it's excuse making.
A myriad of other different reasons why people are ignorant of the important political issues, but I don't think it's fair to kind of reduce their say based on a lack of knowledge that is pretty symptomatic of the kind of times we live in, rather than
the kind of times we live in. I mean, we live in an age of information. I mean, you can't freaking turn around with alternative sources of information hunting you down. I mean, this is the worst possible time for you to make this kind of argument. 21st century, we can't tell people that they're capable of educating themselves. I mean, come